Hey, how's it going today? I want to talk to you about making money in filmmaking. This is a question I've been noticing more and more in the comment section because I think people are watching all these YouTube videos and thinking they're cool, but how do I make money creating documentary films or shooting corporate videos or just owning a video camera? So let's talk about that today. I would say there's two categories in filmmaking. One, that is the filmmaker, and the second would be the film worker. So a filmmaker would be like a producer, a director, people who are creating the projects. But then a film worker are the people who help support that vision. Maybe that's an editor or a gaffer or a camera operator or a sound guy. And these are two paths. Now they can correlate, but to make money, being a director or being a camera operator requires some different skills. So let's break this down quickly. Talking about the filmmaking route, if you want to be a director, you need to have a good reel and you need to have some skills. The reel is completed work. People don't just care if you're a nice person, if you're trying to become a director or anything like that. They want to know if you have completed work. I want to say right off the top too, for any category in film, you need to be willing to work for free for a certain amount of time. So having a side hustle really helps this. When I first got into filmmaking, I was editing posters for this factory that did water pumps for pools. And that's just how I paid for my rent for a while. So that's just a brief idea of filmmaking, and I'll get more into the nitty-gritty of that later in this video, but I want to transition over to film workers because this is often where a lot of us start out. They are the lifeblood of filmmaking. We need them to complete the projects. And one of the most important things as a film worker is your network, the people you know. You can go on to websites like Facebook and find these groups where there's job postings, or start reaching out to production companies in your town, go knock on their doors. Be persistent to try to get your first chance and offer your work for free in the beginning. It sucks with the industry that this is kind of the way it works, but this is why it's good to have a side hustle. I had to work a ton of jobs for free, did a lot of internships just to begin to get my name out there. And that's the second thing, is your name, your reputation. If you want to make a living in the film industry, you want to have a strong desire to see other projects get better, other people's work be elevated, because there's nothing worse than hiring someone, having them on set when they have a crappy attitude, or when you can tell they're just counting down the hours to get off set. Those are the people who I will gladly never hire again. So for you, no matter what job it is, if it's a corporate job, a wedding, a film, make sure you're passionate about helping the person who's in charge complete that job to the best of your abilities and help them complete their vision. Ask questions. What else can I do? How can I make this better? And by the way, there is no sponsor on today's video, except you know what? I think I'm gonna sponsor this today. Today is sponsored by The Art of Documentary. That's our film academy, it's our film course. If you wanna learn more about how to make money in film, just like we're talking about today, or where to start in your career, or how to create a compelling film, we have an incredible course that we already launched. We have over 500 students in it. We're relaunching it on March 8th, so the doors are open. Jump on the wait list. We'll have an early bird discount. So thank you for today's sponsor, The Art of Documentary. But let's get back to our video. One excuse that I hear from a lot of people is they say, well, I don't have a camera yet. How can I begin building my resume or begin practicing so that I can get hired? Well, the thing about that is most of us actually have a phone. You don't need a fancy camera to start building your reel. Something I've actually been doing on this channel is I've been building these really cool opening sequences for a bunch of my videos. Little secret, every shot in those videos was done on my iPhone. So for you, if you have a phone like the iPhone, start shooting on it. Start building your resume, building your reputation. Even if you don't use those projects, it's so important to practice because there's no such thing as luck. There is just preparedness. So that's filmmaking and film working. And another way to make money in this industry is passive income. And this can include stock video, selling your footage on websites like Film Supply, or there's other websites like Storyblocks, which you can sell your stock footage to and earn passive income for the footage that's just sitting on your hard drives. Another way to make passive income is renting out the assets you own. And I'm not just talking about camera gear. Another way to do this, and this is not an advertisement, I'm giving you guys a little glimpse into how I run my production company, but is you'll have a subscription to a service like Epidemic Sound, maybe their commercial plan, which is about $300 a year. Now, if you do 10 projects in the year and charge each client $100 to have access to that library of music, you'll make $700 extra in that year. And that's because you had invested just $300 into the commercial plan. And what's great about a commercial plan like that on Epidemic Sound is you have access to all the music and you can license it out to the clients you're working with for the projects you're producing for them. So for you, there's a great way that you can make it extra money throughout the year. And if you get more projects and more clients and your work elevates, you can start charging more money for those music assets. And it's not that you're being dishonest to your client, it's that you have paid for that asset, you've paid access to them. They would rather pay you $100 for that than pay $300 for them to access it. This is where you can start adding more assets to your work as your companies grow or as more work comes in and rent your gear out. A lot of the lenses I own, I've put on to websites like Kijiji and Craigslist so that people can rent them out if they would like to use them. This is another way to make passive income for stuff that you own. Now, if you're gonna rent out your gear, make sure you get a contractor, that you have insurance, because people will bust your gear. It's just gonna happen, so you have to be ready to risk that. But you have these assets. When you do a video shoot, you should put a line item in your budget that your camera costs $50 for the day or whatever, but your client should be renting your gear off you, as well as your access to post-production assets like music or stock video. That's part of the way you make money, is you have a markup in your company. And if you're interested in that commercial plan, I will put a link below. Again, this video is not sponsored by them, but I love their product. I use it all the time. And just to wrap things up and bring it back around to filmmaking, like I said, if you're wanting to become a producer or a director, the most important thing is the collection of work that has your name on it. Passion projects are the best investment you can ever do. You need to show people the work that you believe in so they'll hire you for that. If you want to become a tabletop photographer where you're going to shoot cupcakes and all the food and do food photography, start shooting food. No one's going to hire the wedding photographer to shoot their food. You need some of that work on your resume. So your portfolio has to be the most important thing. And this is why it's okay to start out as a film worker before you transition into film making. I did this for years. Like I said, I worked as a cameraman. I watched all these amazing directors do their work and I learned so much from them. And a guy like Brian and Mike over at Studio M were so caring to give me great advice and gave me a huge opportunity in my career. So I hope that helps, guys. Just to recap, if you're a filmmaker, if you're wanting to become a director, don't forget about the film working part. Believe in other people's projects, work on your network, and then the most important thing is to create passion projects to help build your reel. And don't forget, you have things like the iPhone in your pocket. You can start there, you can start shooting. So thank you guys for watching this. Leave a comment below if you have any other video ideas that you would like me to cover, and I'll see you guys on the next one.